Blessings, bright ones. I am Alania Starhawk, and we are here today to celebrate the light that we are. Really coming into remembrance of that indefinable spirit that lives within. And it's so important to connect to this part of ourself, because this is exactly what will help us through each and every moment of challenge, conflict, and confusion upon this earth plane. We have to come back into remembrance, into connection, into wholeness, because this state of self-awareness is the energy of light. We perceive light to be that which is manifest, right? That which is visible and discernible. But that is no more than manifest light. When we're talking about light, we're talking about the energy of all that is one, connected, life-giving, supportive, all that is pure potential, that which is primal and has the ability to be shaped and support us in infinite measure, that which is boundless and not conformed to any set of expectations, guidelines, or circumstance. We are talking about that which really allows us to feel alive, right? And the energy of being alive means that we are in motion, we are experiencing, we are exploring, discovering, just being present within ourselves. There is an experience of being, right? The experience of being. So let's accept that the energy of light is not just that which is manifest. The energy of light is anything that allows you to feel whole and connected, complete and self-sustained. Okay? There's nothing that's lacking, nothing that's missing, nothing that has to be fixed. There is this awareness of being whole, complete, and present within yourself. This is the same energy as life force. It's the same energy as creation, as God, as anything that allows you to feel complete, whole, and aware. This is light, right? Everything that lets you just be present with right now, safe, secure, and loved. For a moment, let's also talk about the energies of shadow. Shadow is any perception of being less than safe, secure, and loved. Any perception that you're not part of the whole. Any belief that allows you to feel separate or in pain or in confusion, in challenge. All of this is a perception of shadow. A shadow is simply the any space that is not in direct light, in direct awareness, in direct connection to the force of life that is a shadow. But the shadow itself is just a state of being. It's just a state of awareness, of perception. It's what we believe in that moment. It doesn't actually have any power over us. And you have to understand this, because this is primal. This is pivotal to us becoming who we are and who we have the potential to be. If we are fearing the shadows in any way, we're fearing not having enough, we're fearing not being loved, we're fearing our health and wellness, anything that we are perceiving as having power over us, all of that is keeping us separate from the light that we are, right? And this is wholeness, this is acceptance, this is awareness, this is support, right? Everything here is life-giving. Anytime we identify with the shadow of not being enough, not having enough, all of this is just a state of awareness, but it makes us feel as if we are out of control of our own experience. Can you understand? Can you identify? by our belief systems, by a relationship, by a circumstance, makes us feel like we don't have control over our own health, over our own abundance, over our own empowerment. Okay? We right now are living in a world that has a lot of shadow in it. That is not a negative. It is only because we have forgotten that we have the choice. We have the choice to choose the light, to choose the shadow. Okay, you have to sit with those words, even if you're not ready to accept it. Let those words sink into your body, because there's a cellular memory within. And this is important. We didn't know we had the choice. So here's how we're going to remind ourselves. If you can acknowledge that you have known lack in some way, that you're feeling disempowered, that you're feeling like there's not enough, you're feeling unsupported, okay? If you can acknowledge that this is real, we're going to remember that all of this is real, okay? But it's only one perception of truth. And if this in any way makes us feel disconnected from the power, the light, the truth that is in some other realm, then we're going to accept that this perception has to be held fundamentally within the wholeness that is. If you're believing that something exists outside of yourself, then this is not light. If there's something that you believe you're lacking, this is not light, this is shadow. Whatever it is that you're lacking, you feel separate from. But if you remember that the shadow is actually part of the whole, remember, this is whole, this is everything. That means anything that is a shadow is held safely and securely within the light. Okay, this is a big teaching, a big awareness that we really have to sink into. So why is this important? Because if I can remember that in any moment of authentic panic, fear, disconnect, disharmony, if I can remember that I am, as a fact, still connected to all the resources, all the inspiration, all the love I need, I no longer need to feel lost in the shadows. Okay? The only reason that humanity has forgotten its own personal power is because we have forgotten that it is always available to us. No one can take it away. No circumstance can leave us without the inherent power to support ourselves. It's always available. Even if it's not discernible, even if it's not clear and present, it's available. So this is when we start really looking at the light. The light is not separate from the shadow. Okay, just hear these words. In the light, because it's everything, the shadow is held safe and secure. The light itself is saying it's okay that you feel a bit separate and insecure. We are still supporting that experience for you. Okay, like a mother allowing your child to trip and to fall and to explore its own potential. That light is supporting our exploration through the shadows. Now hear this. The shadows cannot be separate from the light, right? It's all inclusive. I want to make sure I'm wording this because this is so... It's all inclusive. The light knows that the shadow is part of itself. But if we look at the shadows, those moments where we feel disconnected, the shadows aren't looking beyond itself. The shadows aren't looking to be whole. The shadows are making us feel disconnected and without support. So we're not going to focus on this a lot. I want to remind you, in those moments where you feel disconnected, it is an illusion. Clear, it's an illusion. I am someone who believed that there are great battles of light and dark on this earth plane. right? Many of us understand this. I have always had this awareness, okay? Everything is almost this challenge to remember who we are and to be whole again. But as long as we think that there is a battle, as long as we think that there is something to defend ourselves again, we're actually in the shadows. Even if I am proclaiming that I am the light of the world, if I think I need to save people, if I think that I can be less than safe in any particular moment, then I am still in the shadow. Now, remember, I came out of a belief system where I had to save the world. This was my belief, okay? I was brought up as a master martyr, okay? I will give anything as long as it's supporting and assisting someone. But that's not helping anyone. The only way I really come into my power as a being of light is in seeing that everything is a choice, right? If I am the light where everything is whole, everything is possible and available, and then everything is supporting us in some way. Whatever it is we think we're lacking, that lack is an illusion. So clear away that perception of lack and come into focus. Remind yourself, so if you're looking for health, I choose health for myself. I'm asking that I am a divine being, that I am in sacred alignment with all divine beingness, with all truth, with all experience. I am in alignment, and I welcome only that which is supportive and uplifting. Now, as long as I do that as an invocation to the light that I am, it's manifest. However, if I take that same exact prayer, all those words, but they are coming through the fear that I'm holding at a deeper level, they're not going to support me in the same way. If I feel that I need to be saved, if I feel that I need to be healthy so that I'm not sick, you understand that that's just telling your body that you're still not safe, okay? We right now, as we're coming into our power, as we're really recognizing who we are, we have to recognize that we are creating our realities right here, right now. Let go of what happened in the past. It's complex. It's very complex, and we can talk about it all at a different time. But today, I need to remind you that you have the power over your experience. This is so important at this time, because if you're witnessing what I'm witnessing, there is a lot of fear being suggested, okay? A lot of fear being activated, awakened across the earth plane right now. You know this, I know this, we're seeing it everywhere. I say that I'm in the light. I say that I'm aware that everything is possible. And when I witness the fear that is being suggested, that is being spread, I have to hold myself firmly in the light that I am. Okay? The light being my truth without illusion. This truth for me is that I am always supported, that I am connected to divine source, that I am held in a divine embrace, that no matter my circumstances, I am safe, secure, and loved. This is my truth. This is what represents light for me today. That means even when I'm going through an experience that feels a bit challenging, it's my privileged right to remember that even in this disharmony, I am safe and loved. Okay? It's not easy to hold on to that. Sometimes I just need to shut down the world outwardly and come within myself and go, I am safe, secure, and loved. I need to remind myself all the time. Why? It's not because I don't know what truth is. It's because I have been living lifetimes in this earthly experience where we have believed that being human is less than divine. It's less than empowered. It's inherently dense. It's inherently challenging. False, 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 illusion, illusion, illusion. It's what makes us stay small. Okay? If you don't know how to get out of whatever fear you are in, whatever dilemma, whatever challenge you are in, you start by taking a deep breath, right? Just taking a deep breath, because if light is everything, everything, all inclusive, light, 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 that means light lives within you. It is you, because you are part of the everything, correct? So here it is, we're connecting to that source of everything, of infinite being, connecting to it within. And we're giving it permission to support us. We are telepathically, energetically, heart present. We are connecting to the light within. And we are saying, support our journey into remembrance, into empowerment, into safety, security, love, abundance, anything that we desire. We're asking the divine, that which exists beyond duality, beyond the challenge, beyond the shadow. We're asking the divine to be present with us, to support us upon our journey, and to lead us forward into awareness, into clarity, into truth, into understanding. I'm going to speak, I just have to find the words. I see these are ancient ones, beings of light, tall, formless, without body, pure light force. And they begin to create space around each and every one of us. They're creating a circle of light. Pure white light. And they're just creating this space. They're clearing away everything that has allowed us to feel confused, overwhelmed, without power. They're clearing it all away. It's as if you are taking this very busy space and just clearing it to be in just presence. So much love pouring through, and there's white light around all of us right now, and Spirit says to each of us, what do you want for yourself? There's only white light right here in our environment, and they say, what do you want for yourself? So perhaps you say peace, perhaps you say love, abundance, perhaps you say to just feel safe and secure. Perhaps you say adventure. Whatever it is you say, Spirit says this is what life is about. You think that you have to choose from everything that appears to be available, everything that's throwing itself at you as a choice, as an option. But you will never step into your power until you clear away all of these voices, all of these perceptions, all of these present realities, to remind yourself that you are infinite. You don't have to choose from what you see. You get to choose from that which is and that which has yet to be created, yet to be imagined. You are that phenomenal. You are that empowered. Spirit says, do not hold yourself back from being the everything, the wholeness, the totality, the completion that you are. being one with a beautiful little insect. Don't hold yourself back. In this time right now, Spirit says a lot of what is being presented in the world is making you feel smaller and smaller and smaller. It's teaching you to hold yourself back, go within, just protect yourself. Spirit says that to believe that you have to be small in order to protect yourself is to believe that you are without power and purpose. You can choose to stay within, to go within, to create safe space for yourself, but that's different than needing to be small. Okay? We want you to remember that you are the light of love, of life force, of everything that is. And if humanity needs any support right now, it needs to remember that it is capable of being all that it needs to be. Humanity needs to remember that it is not disconnected from the support, from the grace, from the blessings, from the healing that is available. Are you willing to remind yourself and everyone incarnate right now that healing is possible in this exact moment? Healing is possible. Grace and ease is possible. Peace. We're just spending a moment on this. Peace is possible. Again, just holding space. When I do this, when I breathe, it's because there's a lot of energy moving through. They're bringing in the energy of peace. And the truth is that if we don't believe in peace, if we don't believe in harmony, we are creating these dynamics, these storylines that make us feel small and disconnected and disempowered. They're saying this because they're getting tough with us, okay? This is tough love they're about to share with us. If we are getting upset, disappointed, angry at the world around us, at the people around us, at the circumstances around us, at anything that is, in our opinion, responsible for the disharmony, we are feeding this disharmony. Spirit saying there is no more time to play. If you want to be masters in your experience, if you want to believe that you are creating your reality upon this earth plane and you are invoking light, truth, love, peace to be present, you can't ask for it to be gifted to you. You have to choose it. You have to want it. You have to embrace it within yourself. They're talking about being impeccable with our thoughts, our words, our prayers. Impeccable. Impeccable, meaning that they cannot change according to our circumstance. If you want peace, you have to choose peace. If you want love, you have to be love. And I'm not trying to judge anyone. I'm recognizing that even as they say this to me, I realize that there were many opportunities for me to choose love more fully this week towards myself and others. There were many opportunities for me to be peace more than I chose to be this week. I try to be loving. But I realize that even I am believing that some circumstances are out and beyond my control, out of and beyond my control. Spirit says you're feeding it. It's like we can't play around. What do you want to be? Do you want to be disconnected from the all-encompassing light that you are? Or do you want to remember that even in that disharmony, you are connected to source. You are connected to all of the resource, to all the inspiration, to all the healing, to all that might be needed to expand that experience into something that is supportive and healing. Spirit says they're showing me that we don't even realize how defensive we are in our daily lives. We don't even realize it. We've learned to defend ourselves against the direct light, right? For me, I'm in the shade today. We learn to defend ourselves against the environment, against people that appear to be unhealthy. We defend ourselves against so much about being with the concept of being in lack. We defend ourselves. We make all these choices to not be, right? Not be in lack, to not be without love, to not be. All of this energy that we're placing towards not being is keeping us distracted from the power we have to be. I mean, they're going deep right now, and they're saying the reason we're telling you this, the reason we're putting so much energy into this is because of fear-based reality. Anything that makes us feel defensive is going to keep us tethered to those belief systems that feed the disharmony. And they're speaking directly to you, to me, to every one of us, but to you. You have to hear me. You are a master. You know how to embody light, to be the light, to choose, right? I'm like, to choose anything, everything, all of it. And in that, I am acknowledging you are a master with the power to choose shadow or light. There's no judgment because it's all needed, and there needs to be a balance of everything. All that's changing in this awareness of not embracing the fear, all that's changing is believing that we are out of control. Okay, so you might still step into experiences that are challenging. But for myself, I know, oh wait, I'm not lost. I'm not without control. I just need to make an effort to connect to the support, to the inspiration, to the blessings that are always supporting me. I just need to make an effort to connect. Okay, it's available. I just have to look beyond the shadow, beyond the fear, beyond the lack. I have to look beyond, because in the wholeness that I am, everything is available. Everything is available. I thought I would be going into a lot more about the general understanding of why shadows are in our life, because they are purposeful. But in truth, we're in this doorway right now, this doorway where we need to go more fully into recognizing that we have a choice. We need to take our power back, not just individually, but collectively. So let's talk about the fullness that we are. They suggested this a little while ago. If you remember who you are, okay, remember who you are, you will never feel that humanity is without choice and control. This is something personal to me, because even when I work to make all the best choices for myself, I feel as though the choices of others on a larger scale are really making it more challenging for us sometimes. Sometimes I'm really balanced and I don't feel that way. But it's one of my particular concerns, and it's something that's been rising a little bit this week, right? So let's talk about who we are. This is vital right now. Humanity is the collective of all individual incarnate beings, right? Humanity is the collective, the totality of every single being that is alive. We believe that we are only one person. We believe that how can my little voice, my little prayer make an impact in this great big world? But you are undervaluing who you are. On one point of focus and awareness, you have to understand that none of these individual beings that comprise the totality, none of them have more power than you. Everyone has the same amount of power and ability to create change. Okay? So, if you're believing that the change is happening outwardly without you, it's only because you have given up your voice. Let's remember who I am. My prayers make a difference. My voice makes a difference. And I am uniting with every other voice across the globe that sees the world as I do. So if I want this challenging health concern across the globe to be healed, my prayer right now, is that everyone feels loved, feels safe. Everyone remembers that their bodies are strong. Their bodies know how to heal themselves. And I, individually, am praying that the divine comes in to support us in those moments where we have forgotten who we are. I am asking that the divine comes in to really carry us through to that next stage of inspired awareness, to that next stage of healing, that next stage of allowing. I'm giving permission for the divine to come in and to support us, to bring through the resolutions, to bring through the miraculous healings that might be needed. This is my prayer. But if you've just connected to my prayer, then we're in this together. Our voices are connected. And every other soul across the globe that has a similar prayer, all of our energies are uniting, and it's making a difference. We have to understand this. If we can stay focused on the healing and welcoming in the divine support, right? Because if we're thinking that we're stuck, that's a perception of shadow. But the shadow is held within the light. So if I call in for that higher support, that higher awareness, then I am opening the doors to all potential, to all possibility. And it's as if the sky just opened and this rainbow just came down and washed upon me. And they say, yes, this is the key. I mean, really a key. First, to know who you are and that your voice makes a difference. But when you remember that you are divine and connected to all divine source, able to direct that divine source into this earthly experience, then that's when you become the bridge to unite both heaven and earth, the divine and the earthly. You bring everything into harmony and balance. And they say more than anything, people need to feel safe right now, and they're wanting that divine connection. They're wanting that reminder that there is more than they can see. Because anything, and I mean this, anything that feels like an overwhelming complexity in our life right now is small compared to the love that the divine brings in. We just have to choose it. We have to welcome it. We have to allow it. So can you allow yourself to recognize that I am, right? I am light. I am whole within myself. And the infinite that exists in all potentiality actually exists within myself. And I, while being part of this earthly experience, this very human reality, I am welcoming in the divine presence, the miraculous support into this now moment. I am allowing my prayers, my voice, my actions, my body to be used as a gateway, as a bridge between heaven and earth. I welcome the divine presence into my being. I'm sitting with this because simply said, Spirit conveys we all just want to be loved. We all just want to be loved. But the moment that we invoke the divine is the moment that we let that love in. The divine isn't above us. It's that state of awareness where everything is whole and united. And when we call in the divine, we're welcoming in that support that is ever present and boundless. Anything we need, miraculous assistance is ours. So they're showing me right now the earth plane. Imagine the planet Earth. And imagine a grid of light encircling the entire globe. And they say there are masters on this earth plane right now, masters that have been creating, feeding, and maintaining this grid of light. Of course, the divine can do it for us, but it's more powerful. It's more, it creates a greater impact when humanity creates this for ourselves. When we do it from within, it needs to take place in this way. There are many masters who are holding this grid of light in place. Now, remember that if you choose to be part of this, the wise and masterful part of yourself already knows how to feed, how to support, how to sustain this grid of light. It is encoded to bring back divine remembrance, the divine blueprint, remembrance that our bodies are wise, intelligent, and know how to heal themselves, remembrance that we are connected to all infinite source, remembrance that we are not alone in this, that we are doing it all together. And it's also bringing in the remembrance that we humanity are not here alone. It's bringing in connection to Earth Mother, wow, all the elements, all of those beautiful energies, all of the mysteries, all of the sacred knowledge that has been encoded into the earth that we are a part of, into the rays of light that touch us each day, into the prayers that allow us to journey to higher dimensions, that there is support everywhere, okay? This grid of light is actually reconnecting us to our divine self and our divine source, okay? I'm saying this grid of light is already in place. But the more participants we have in holding this grid of light in place, the quicker humanity receives the message. And they're asking you, will you choose to be part of this stage of awakening, of this stage of divine remembrance? Will you rise to connect to, attune to, trust in the grid of light that now awakens humanity to the miracle that it is? And as I see our spirits rise, as I see us take our place upon at each point of light upon the grid, I see the grid become three-dimensional. It's not just around the earth, it's actually woven into every dimensional plane upon the earth. It's woven into our beings right now. It's woven into the land that we are upon. It's woven into all things. We are activating and breathing this grid of light into being. We're feeding it. It's not just invoking it. We are breathing it into being. Yes, yes, yes. They say tomorrow we're going to talk more about being the masters of light that we are, and how we can come face to face with the shadows and the fears, but not lose ourselves in them. Now that you have a foundation of recognizing who you are, we're going to focus upon really tapping into that and to understanding this, because you realize that by connecting to, trusting in this life force, right? You lose the word light for a moment. This life force, this source of support. By tapping in, you become boundless. You become infinite in your potential. And this is what we want for you and every soul that is incarnate. Beautiful ones, you have to know that we see you and you are not alone. Let the doors of awareness open to bring to you everything that supports you on this precious journey. Everything that feels like a complexity in this exact moment, I am asking, I'm invoking, I'm calling upon miraculous balance and healing. Everything, all of it, miraculous balance and healing. In any way that honors and respects the free will choice of humanity, but really taking the power back to be ourselves in divine union. Divine union. So earthly and divine together as one. That feels right. I feel inspired. I feel supported. We're doing this for 7 sacred days leading up to the spring equinox next Thursday. If you have thoughts and questions for me, please just message me, comment below, share this video with others that you think might be supported, and connect to me on my website. Spread the word and connect to me on my website, alaniastarhawk.com. I truly believe that we are doing this together, and I am only one voice in this beautiful ocean of voices. We all need to speak our own truth and to trust in who we are. This is the day. This is the day that we reclaim our power and let go of everything that makes us feel small and disconnected. For we are the light. We are the radiant truth of God, of Source, of love. We are. And so it is. Namaste, dear ones. You are so loved.